And for Golden Warriors today, we're talking with Sterling Director of Theater Tim Schlegel. The fall play begins Saturday night at 7:30, Sunday afternoon at 2. It is a comedy, Tim, play on, and I've heard from some of the folks that are involved in it and then doing some reading outside that if you like comedy, this is one of those hilarious ones that has a lot of different angles and just some really fun stuff for people to see.
Yeah, it's in 3 acts. So like the first act, you get to know who the characters are. We introduced the show that they're supposed to be trying to act, and of course they're all bad actors and they can't remember the lines. And then the second act, we start seeing the dress rehearsal, and the playwright who's writing the play comes and throws in some extra script lines. And then the third act is the performance itself, and of course everything falls apart.
Yeah. Hilarity ensues, obviously. You've said before when we've talked that sometimes comedy, in teaching young people comedy, it's harder because there's the timing element of it. How fast did your young actors and actresses here pick up on the timing element of this particular production?
It's very difficult because you have to consistently remind them this is not a serious play. And some of the humor as well, they're just not old enough to know what the humor is. And so you have to basically spoon feed the humor to them and tell them why it's funny, because the terminology is they just don't get it. So, but yeah, I mean, once they get that and they start hearing each other talking and they play off of each other, it really starts to build on itself. And so we're at that point now where, the characters are really starting to shine through and they're starting to get everything.
I always think the behind the scenes look sorts of plays like this are kind of cool. The play within the play. You did that a couple of years ago with Noises Off. It was the same sort of idea. I just think those are really hilarious. And are those difficult to pull off from a director standpoint?
Yeah, they are, because you have to remember when you're not supposed to be on stage, but you're still on stage, being behind the scenes or whatever, you're still having to act. And the same thing was true with this show. The set's not finished in Act 1. So there are walls missing and they have to climb up on the stage, or they're using ladders to climb on, and the furniture's not there, so they're using regular chairs. And so it's harder for them to remember that when they walk off stage with no curtains or whatever, they have to keep their character going until you cannot see them anymore.
Yeah, good stuff. So hopefully this weekend, some good football on Friday with a playoff victory, hopefully, and then an opportunity to see some hilarious action on the Centennial Auditorium stage on Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Just again, remind folks about the times, the exact times, ticket prices, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Saturday shows at 7:30, Sundays at 2. Tickets are $8 for adults, $5 for kids. And if you're a high school student, bring your ID to the box office and we'll give you a free ticket.
All right, awesome. So free for Sterling High School students. And just a little sneak peek, okay, as we think ahead to, spring and the end of February and the winter spring musical. What's on the horizon for that?
We're going to be doing Mamma Mia.
All right, Mamma Mia, and you got a smile on your face about there. So you're an old school 1970s ABBA fan, right?
Of course I am.
Who isn't, right?
That's exactly right.
All right, Mr. Schlegel, we appreciate the time, and break a leg with the cast of Play On this weekend.
Thank you very much.
That is Sterling High School Director of Theater Tim Schlegel here on Golden Warriors Today.